So
Matt
let's
Maiocco
talk
on the
about
latest
Brock
with
Purdy,
Brock
Matt
Purdy's contract
Maiocco.
extension.
Where do things stand right now, and where do you think they're going and headed?
Yeah, right now there's not much activity with them, and they both sides express the desire to have this thing done, not necessarily by the start of the new league year, but certainly for the start of the offseason program. One of the major distractions from last season was the contract situations that were hanging out there with Trent Williams and with Brandon Ayuk. So those are two guys where there was a lot of distractions, and the season got off on kind of a bad note because of it. Trent Williams was a holdout, Brandon Ayuk was a hold in, and those are just that's a left tackle and a wide receiver. So with their quarterback, they have to have him in the building, being a leader. I think they have to, you know, they got to put their money where their mouth is. I mean, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have both said that they expect Brock Purdy to be the quarterback for as long as they're with the team. So in order to do that, I don't think you can cut any corners, and I don't think you can pay him like a top 18 quarterback or a top 16 or 14. If you think he's the guy, then they have to pay him. But as we've seen this offseason with the cost cutting and the belt tightening and all these guys leaving, they also want to get a deal that they don't come to regret a year or two down the road.
So does it start with a five? And did the Niners opening foray, as reported, start with a four,
I,
Matt?
I don't, that to me seems really difficult to believe because the last thing you want to do is give Brock Purdy an insulting early offer. And when you see so many of those quarterback contracts starting with a five, I would think that that's where it starts. I mean, you look at what Brock Purdy has done. I mean, he was fourth in the MVP voting back in 2023. You won't hear anybody in the building talking any smack about him, anything about his limitations. It's all about what he can do. All that other talk is from people outside the building. So I'm still of the opinion that where both sides want to get something done, I think there's enough quarterbacks who have signed extensions or new deals that gives them the parameters of what they can look at. Josh Allen's contract helps. Certainly, Dak Prescott's contract helps, and we could go down the line of Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love. I mean, all those guys, and I mean, it's obviously some of those guys are on a Hall of Fame track, but Brock Purdy has done everything the 49ers have asked of him. I mean, frankly, they rescued